Cashel to meet Phil. Some observant viewers might recognise him from a brief appearance in one of my earlier videos. I met Phil at a charge point. I think it was Pontefract, I think it was called. The last stop before Hull, before I reached the ferry port in Hull. And at the time, Phil was debating on whether or not to get an electric car and which one to get and all that. And he stayed in touch. And he sent me an email a few months ago saying that he was going to go to Ireland for a weekend, and if he wanted to meet up. And he was going to a park in Waterford, and on the way back up he was looking for a B&B to stay in a town where I live, Mallow. But Mallow is not exactly a tourist town, so I advised him to see if he could find something elsewhere along the route to Dublin. So he settled for Cashel. So I'm meeting him in Cashel. Now, I briefly met him yesterday already, when he decided to, he was going to surprise me. He showed up at my house a little before 5 and parked his car in the driveway, and my wife sent me a message going, your friend decided to surprise you, which he did. The problem was that I was at work until 8 o'clock, so I didn't actually get to meet him at the house. So my wife phoned me and put Phil on the phone and said, guess what? He said, guess what's parked in your driveway? I'm going, a Ford Focus, because to my knowledge that was the last thing he was driving. And he said, no, a Tesla. I go, you did not. Turns out that Phil, with some financial rejigging, actually bought himself a beautiful Tesla Model S. So I did tell him to please come to the hospital where I work and show me this car. So I'm going over to Cashel to meet Phil and his lovely Model S. I didn't have my camera with me yesterday to actually film anything, and because I was working, I didn't really need or wanted to, so we'll do a little bit more of a tour of the car on video this time, hopefully, when I see him in Cashel. Since the weather is it's a bit grey, but it's dry and not very windy, I'm gonna have a browse around Cashel, see if I can get close to the Rock of Cashel for some videoing there as well, because it's a nice site. So we shall see you guys in Cashel. Here we are. Cameo appearance again. Phil. Helen. Here we are. Tesla Model S. Yeah, it's driving itself. I'm officially jealous. So there we are.
Change lane, you pull the indicator on, just touch the steering wheel, and then
it goes. This is the future, folks. So this is a Model S, premium interior, really nice. It is the baby one. Baby one. 70 kilowatt? Yeah, 70 kilowatt hour battery.
Rear wheel drive,
so it's not the dual one. It's got the sunroof though.
Yeah.
It's very nice. We were commenting earlier on the fact that the dark interior actually isn't as dark as I feared sometimes when I was going through the configurator, because I do love the actual darker interior. It'll probably be easier to keep clean. That's the idea anyway. Now, of course, when you get in, the main thing is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I'm officially jealous. So the car is now steering itself around bends.
Well, just under 90% tonight. What were it, 311 kilometres?
The other thing I'm quite jealous about is the 309 kilometres of estimate range left.
And it's not full.
And it's not even full. Yeah, good point. Oh my god. So here we go.
Energy. So it's changed to 85%.
Just like that. Yes. As I've said before, I'm officially jealous.
I prefer it on that.
Well, yeah, but at least you can actually easily change it.
See, because I've caught that car up, it's slowed down now. So to goodbye, indicate, as it going, touch wheel, and off we go.
And then accelerate it up to the speed limit.
Well, it's just done it. Go 5 miles an hour, you get a quick press, and just 120.
Technology these days. Unbelievable.
I have found though, sometimes if I turn indicator off too early, it goes back to accelerating.
These are probably one of the few roads in Ireland where you can actually use autopilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's 90 miles an hour in kilometres?
Jealous. 90 miles an hour is probably about 145 kilometres.
Because at 90 mile an hour, autopilot disengages. Because I've tried to accelerate on motorway, I just put the foot down and accelerate, and suddenly at 90 mile an hour, beep, 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 ooh, grab wheel.
Well, back on my way home. Somehow this car feels a little slow now that I've actually seen the Tesla, driven the Tesla. There's something very unnerving sitting in the car and you know that the driver is actually not in charge of the car. However, I think I could get used to it quite quickly. So we are going back home now, just a straightforward drive. It was nice to see Phil. It was nice to see a Tesla up close and actually get my first drive in a Tesla. And yeah, I think he's a very lucky guy with that car, and I hope he has many, many happy years of driving. And it kind of makes me want to see how the Model 3 is developing and seeing if I can stretch through for one of them. Amazing machine, Tesla Model S. I think that's about it. So we'll talk to you guys later. Now, hello from Cove. Look at that view over there. Not so much back here. Just in Cove, just to pick up a package. Something my wife ordered online. And I decided to bring my drone out just to shoot some video around here because it's absolutely stunning. That cathedral is absolutely brilliant. So found the local charge point perfectly fine. 22 kilowatt unit. Not that I needed it, but since it's, you know, available, why not? So I'm gonna grab my my drone and actually have a bit of a walk around and see what I can film. way back from Cove. It's a lovely little town actually. It's a bit of a tourist attraction, being the last place that the Titanic docked before its fateful voyage towards an iceberg. Yeah, it was a bit of a shame that it was a bit, well, it's very cloudy actually, as you can probably see. Thankfully there was no wind, so it was perfect flying conditions from that respect. And I think I'll be back here when the weather is actually better. So I saw a few lovely little spots along the way, like the car ferry between, I think it's called Cove. I'm not even sure what the actual destinations are, but basically between Cove and Monkstown, I think, along on the other side of the river. And so I'm now going to go home and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. The car had stopped charging at 95%, which is fine. I didn't need it to begin with, but it's just a bit strange. I got about 3 notifications that it was an unexpected end of the charge. So it obviously had some form of fit. But that's alright. We are fine. And I am going home to enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Probably need to see if I can actually mow the lawn, considering it's been actually dry for the last week or so. Anyway, see you guys another time. Hello everyone. It is Good Friday and I am on my way to Cork Airport. I've just dropped my dog off at the dog sitter for 2 days because my youngest brother and his family are coming over for a visit for Easter. So that's my brother, my sister-in-law and their 2 kids. One who's 5 and the other one is 3. And so that's the reason why I'm picking them up by myself. I don't have my wife with me, because basically it would mean there'd be 6 of us and I can't carry 6 in this car. I can, however, carry the 5. So I will do some filming when they're all back in the car, I think, just to show you how we're going to manage, because people sometimes say that Zoe is too small and that kind of thing. She isn't too small. She's smaller than some other cars, but she's definitely not small. So I guess I'll see you guys at the airport. And we can all fit. Good morning. It is Sunday. It's about a week after, a little over a week actually, after the last bit of video that you saw. My family were here for, my brother and his family were here for, what were they, about 4 days. And yeah, they had a good time. We drove around. We didn't drive around much, certainly didn't film it. The only reason we didn't really drive around much is because there were 6 of us and the car could only fit 5. It's a bit of an issue. But anyway, today we are going to my in-laws in Kerry again. The weather has been pretty unsettled at the moment. It's not cold, it's about 10 degrees, but it's wet, very wet. The charger, the fast charger in Newcastle West, which I generally end up using, was broken there about a week ago. Now I'll try it today, see what it's like. It's marked up as online on the map, so I don't know how up to date that is, considering there's not a lot of Zoes in that neck of the woods, so the amount of testing that goes on the AC is quite limited. is a bit of I wouldn't call it an issue, because there's generally enough backups. Like Newcastle West has a normal 22 kilowatt point, which I also use, or have used I should say. But anyway, I'm hoping it's working, because it's the shortest route. It's a nice route through the countryside. Generally sort of regional roads, a little bit of N-roads, or national routes as they're known here in Ireland. And other than that, it should be a pretty straightforward journey. Now, one of the other things that, of course it just starts raining when I want to show you guys something on the outside of the car. Well, not really on the outside. One of the other things that people sometimes comment on is storage space. Now, this car is classed as a super mini, so it's not big, but it's not small either. One of the things that you can do with this car is most people might know this. The back seat is not one of those split seats. It's a one continuous seat, so it's either up or down. But what I recently found out is that there's another thing you can do, which is called actually taking it out, which is relatively easy. Now, the seat is basically plugged in, or secured, I should say, in the car on each of the four corners. So, two at the top, which if you push the button, it drops. I might as well go in the back and actually show you guys. Ugh, rain, yuck. Right, so there is a button there, right there, which you can push, and then there is another one on that side, and then when you have both, I'm going to have to put you guys down. This is a bit awkward. I might put you on this. You might be able to see me from here. So apologies for the bad video. Right, let me grab you guys there. Ooh. Alright, so now the back seat is down. As you can see, there's just a hook, pretty standard. But what I recently found out is if you look down here, there's a hinge there. You can actually push that back. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's doable. So as you can see now, it's gone. When you actually do it that way, the entire seat lifts out. So you can actually take the entire back seat out. To actually put it back, literally just push it back down. So that way, you're kind of turning your car into a van, which is going to come in handy in a few weeks, because I'm going to go down to Dublin for the AGM of the Irish EV Owners Association. And afterwards, now I plan on bringing in a few kitchen cabinets, which are about a little over 2 meters long. So what is that? 6'4", 6'5"? Not much for inches. And the idea is to take the back seat out, put them. My wife isn't coming along. Roll the passenger seat down as far as it can go, and put the cabinets over it. Either roll it down or roll it forward, I'm not entirely sure yet. And it should fit. So that's going to be interesting, but now I better fix this seat and we're going to go off to my in-laws in Kerry. This is the DC side in Newcastle West. And this is the AC side in Newcastle West. Notice a problem? So, just a quick top up at the 22 kilowatt charger here in Newcastle West. This unit got vandalised a few months back, and they actually removed the entire sort of doors. They're still here on this side, just badly bent, but these basically had magnetic locks. So yeah, the story basically was the AC side in the fast charger wasn't working, as you all saw. They tried to do a remote restart, only restarted the DC side, didn't restart the AC side, was unresponsive, which I thought would happen anyway. So we're now just doing a quick top up over here just whilst we're having our sandwiches. Still have plenty to charge, probably about 60% anyway. And then we're going to move on to Listowel. Just canvassing the locals. Right, we are in Listowel, in the, I think it's Courthouse Lawn. Let's see now. 22 kilowatt charger. It's the one that was on its back a few months back. Came here and I found the entire charger pushed over some evening. Anyway, we're just doing a bit of a top up here. Probably been here for about 20 minutes now. I think we were in the low 40s when I arrived. It's a lovely weather, a lovely day. The car is behaving very well. We've done about 130 kilometers so far, and I still had, it must be about 40% left when I came here. So I did a 20% top up in Newcastle West, which means I still had about 20% extra. In the meantime, this is a lovely little Nissan Leaf. Judging by the lack of a sat-nav, the XE model, the basic one, non-alloys, probably a 6 kilowatt charger, or sorry, a 3 kilowatt charger, but there's no way for me to actually check on this end. Does it have the fast charger option? It does, which is good. These poor cars actually can't do anything without the fast charger, really. Anyway, we're going to stay here for another probably about 10-15 minutes and then head on home. Probably not much else to film, really. I think I'll leave it there. I'll probably give you a small summary when we're home of this particular journey, but it's pretty standard. Sadly, the fast charger in Newcastle West didn't work, as you saw. It was blank. What I did find entertaining is that I could actually find out from a geek perspective that I am, is that they were running a Linux version I used to run back in the day. So just a little tech news for those interested. And other than that, it's been a pretty uneventful drive. So we'll see you guys at home. And here we are back home. So 209 kilometers driven, average speed is just under 60 kilometers an hour, and a total consumption of 30 kilowatt. I think it actually regenerated 2. I'll put the actual picture I took of the original eco score up now so you can see. I think it's 2. That went very well. When the counter of the consumption counter hit 22 kilowatt, I had done 150 kilometers, so that basically was 90 miles, little over 90 miles on one charge. That's actually pretty good this time of year. I mean, the temperature's only about 10 degrees, which bodes well for the summer. 100 miles should be easy. Arrived home with 28% left. I charged to 90% in the stall, thereabouts. Not entirely sure how long it took, but I'll put the totals of the entire trip up at the end of this episode. So I'm going to call it a day for this episode on that note, and let's see what's coming up now this month. I will probably be going to IKEA at some stage. As I said, we've got the AGM coming up, and in the meantime, if there's anything else worth filming, I'll film it. Until then, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye now.